Welcome back, everybody, to the Pokemon SoulSilver playthrough. This is part 36, and we're continuing off where we left off at part 35, because that's a big surprise. Nobody would have seen that coming. Nah, not ever. Alright, so, like I said in the previous part, I got a tad confused as to where I was meant to go, but now, well, I've gotten things under control, mostly. So, I'm going to be going and doing what I'm actually meant to be doing, but also picking up even more stuff that I forgot to get. So, you know, let's run like crazy, because if we don't, then we might miss them. And if we miss them, then I'm just going to have to uninstall life. I don't know. Alright, so we're running along with good old espionage. Fancy old espion. Alright, so that didn't sound right. Heading on over to the PC. Yeah, I'm hitting on the PC and trying to get it to switch my Pokemon. And, I'm gonna be doing a tiny bit of a switch. Somewhat, I guess. Alright, switching out Tartard for UMAD. And switching out also Big Fat Bug for Red Ranger! Red Ranger is finally back. It's been forever. But, he's here now. And also switching out Contra for Spike 395. Right. I know. Sometimes I have a tendency to forget the nicknames, and that's because I just have so many Pokemon. But I love them all, okay? I cherish them. They're my best friend. I'm alright. Just gotta take a deep breath and we'll move past this. Alright. So we're flying on over to Violet City for a reason that escapes me right now. But I know that eventually, I have confidence in myself, eventually I will go over to where I was meant to go, and then it will remind me about what I was doing at the time, because I don't remember. And that's a problem, because I'm talking about it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So, it's Thursday now in the game. And since it's Thursday, Arthur of Thursday will be on Route 36, and he will give you a hard stone, which upgrades the dually power of rock-type attacks. Which, unfortunately, I don't have any. This is not where I wanted to go. Okay. Yeah, I got a tad confused. See, I sort of was, like, looking around, and I was like, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Where does this lead to? I think somebody's trying to trick me, and I think that someone trying to trick me is, perhaps a set of unknowns. But, yeah, it wasn't really a trick. I just happened to get lost. I thought that you were supposed to go to Route 32 somehow through Route 36, but no, then I remembered that Route 32 is connected straight up to Violet City. So now on Route 32, not only will we be using a fancy Super Repel, because, well, they keep the low-level noobs away. Yeah, I know, it feels like it's been just yesterday since I was here, and yet now I'm calling the Pokemon here noobs. Anyway, you gotta use Cut to get through here, and this guy will start caps locking at you. Right. Alrighty, so apparently this guy enjoys roaring. Okay, that's scary. I wanna go away from you now and stop having this conversation, because you're strange. Alright, so with Roar, we're gonna be using it and teaching it to a Pokemon that admittedly would work better with Whirlwind. Unfortunately, I can't get one with Whirlwind, and that's Spike 395. We're gonna get rid of crappy old Feint. I mean, who really uses that? It's like, really, that move is pretty much a big shot in the dark. I can't even imagine myself actually using that successfully. And Flash as well. We're going to be giving it to an old friend, Red Ranger. And that is because, well, the place that we're going to will not only need Flash, but Red Ranger doesn't really have great attack power. Yes, I went ahead and said it. Red Ranger is very, very weak. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit of an overhaul, you know, in the coming parts with some of my Pokemon, because I've really been thinking about it, and, you know, planning ahead, because that's what you're meant to do. You're supposed to plan ahead and know what you're doing. So, with that being said, speaking of planning ahead, I'm going to be buying some fancy items because, well, I'm going to be needing quite a lot of them. Some Hyper Potions, some good old Ultra Balls, fancy old Revives, and I said, why the heck not, and bought some full Restores. Yeah, I was hoping that would, you know, happen soon. Okay, so that being said, we're done with that. And then, not done yet, we're going into the place with the 4 people of the doing stuff with moves. And we're going to be move deleting again. Yeah. The last time I was here, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. The last time I was here, I made a mistake. And that mistake will be covered in a bit in this very same video that ye are watching. So finally, this was a long time coming. I remember people yelling at me practically for giving Typhlosion Cut, or I should say Fireball, but now he does not have Cut anymore. So, that being said, I'm going to be giving him Blast Burn instead, because it's completely badass. And now he's learned it just like that. You know, no fancy, you know, boom, or whatever, you know. And, I mean, well, no, that's when they forget a move. Anyway, so very quickly, just checking over everybody's held items, because that was sort of a, that was an important thing for me, because I had quite a few items, and I wanted to make sure that they were, well, being used, and not being, foolishly not used. I don't know. Anyway, so I forgot to sell a couple of things, no, just rechecking my balls, yeah, and making sure that I have plenty. Because, well, you know, didn't I already spoil this in the last part? I said I was going to go to the Whirl Islands and all that nonsense. Yeah. So speaking of which, we're going to Cianwood City now. All right. I know. You know, I'm trying to be so cautious with the spoilers, but at the same time, I have a tendency to just blurt them out. That's just how I roll. And all right. So, like I said, there was a little, let's call it a little tad of a mistake that I made with delete moves. And that mistake was with a certain electric and water type Pokemon. Yeah, it was embarrassing. So I forgot if I talked to that guy after I beat Chuck, but yeah, I did beat Chuck, and then I went ahead and I beat Jasmine, and then I beat Price, and then I beat Claire. Come on, man, you're not up on things apparently. You know, that makes me think. I wonder if there's actually clones of that guy. I wonder if there's 8 of those guys in Johto. I mean, that would be scary. I would have to say so. He's like the new Mewtwo, but totally just not as badass. Okay, so that little problem that I said that I had, well, last time I made Lantern forget Whirlpool because I thought that I wasn't going to need it. Turns out I need it because, like I said, I completely did not realize that you have to do this side quest. So, blah, with Whirlpool again. I love the animation for it. It looks pretty awesome. It does. And so now that we're past this fancy big old Whirlpool, well, we are steps closer into the Whirl Islands, because that's where the place of the excitement is happening. You know, those fancy old kimono girls told me to head on over there, and they made it seem like it was gonna be a party. Hello, Gyarados. I finally pointed that out. Or was that Seadra? Oh, for God's sake! Now I don't even. Why do I always do these things? Either I don't notice it, either I don't notice Pokemon in the picture, or I could just completely miss it. Or I get it wrong. Right, that was the other thing. Or I get the Pokemon wrong. Now, as you can see, well, I used Flash and sort of lit up the place. But like with Morty's gym, there seems to be that strange sort of lines going on here, and it reminds me of something that I went ahead and actually looked up, all the way back in part 21. Deck, aka Chaos C57, said about the sort of lines that are in the middle of the screen. He said, I would have loved to do the gym with the sniper aiming at everyone. Yeah, because the weird thing is, well, the lines make it look like a crosshair, and it actually looks like the sniper from TF2 is just aiming in on my character. So, yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that. Now, that thing that you have that just magically starts floating out of your backpack. You found it. Then he just jumps out of the way. Probably because he was scared that it just decided to float out of my backpack. You know, my character, I wouldn't be surprised if he just did not notice that. And that, like, that looks amazing. That is great. I mean, I found a rare candy. Who cares? Look at that background. That is awesome. Wow. That was clearly not in the originals, Generation 2. You know, sometimes I have a tendency to say the first games, and then, you know, that's kind of not right because, well, like, when you think the first games, you think of red, blue, and yellow, and that's just not... Or, also green. Also green. And so here they are, having a fancy party without me. Did they get started? No, they certainly didn't, but they are talking about a dance, so this must be some sort of crazy dance party. And they gave me... I love how they gave me something that I hold on to for, like, literally, like, what has it been? Like, 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Come on. You couldn't have just held on to it yourselves? What are you, lazy? Now, this is just awesome. Dude, oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, a dance party. All right. Oh, no, that doesn't quite fit in with the song. All right. Yeah, it's all fancy and bellular, you know, because I've got the title bell here. See, I was trying to do a play on words, but usually I fail at those. So, for some reason, those yellow bells remind me of Chingling, and also what's the other? Chime Echo, right? Which I originally thought was pronounced Chime Cho because it's supposed to be a chime. Why would you think that it's called Chime Echo? Oh, yeah, Chime Echo. Yeah, okay. Now I get it. Play on words. They're better at that than I am. And now what the heck just happened? The music stopped, and now there's a crazy shaking of the screen, and... Oh, no! What was that? Okay, it went away now. I think we're fine now. So we should all be completely safe here. And oh, God! It's Lugia! Who also apparently has the power to stop time because the waterfall stopped flowing behind it. I didn't even know. Alright. Didn't Lugia look so cute? Look how adorable it looks. Oh, it's all like crying and stuff. Yeah, it actually just does not look very, you know, scary looking in that sort of sprite. Yeah, alright. Well, my harmony with the title bell. Well, it's a good thing that you all danced for me because I would have just, you know, probably slipped and fallen. Embarrassed myself. Then Lugia wouldn't have came out. He would have just been laughing, and then he would have just flown away. So, thank you. Alright. So everybody, like, I got a little audience behind me. What happened to the little girl that told them all about Lugia appearing? Apparently, Lugia's got gas, so this probably isn't going to go so well. Epic, legendary music. It's Lugia. Level 45. I believe that is what level it was originally in Gold and Silver. If not, then it was 40. Cannot remember at this certain point in time, but that does not matter. We are immediately throwing a quick ball right at it, seeing if we can sort of get the jump on it. Nope, unfortunately. Because it is a legendary Pokemon, it is naturally harder to catch. And it's using Extra Sentry, which really is not such a great idea because Espeon is, well, Psychic also, so, yeah. Now, Lugia had a tendency to give me a bit of a hard time, you know. I'm just going to go ahead and look this up because, you know, I always have a tendency to look these things up. Now, like I said, with legendary Pokemon, they are a tad hard to catch. Every Pokemon has a catch rate to it, which is basically a percentage of, like, if a Pokeball is thrown at it at full health, the lowest catch rate that Lugia will have is 0.4%. So that's pretty amazingly low. And speaking of low, Espeon seems to be at kind of low health. Now I decided to try to screw it over with some sand attack-ness. You know, try to get the ball rolling on that whole, you know, it can't attack me thing. You know, because that always works. And so, yeah, what basically helps with the catch rate is, well, I mean, this is pretty well-known stuff here. Lowering its HP... You know, the lower its HP gets, the higher its catch rate gets. Oh, God, that does not look good. But Espeon should have pretty good special defense. Oh, crap. Of course it had to be a critical hit. Damn you. Yeah, then that sort of screwed everything over. Of course I'm going to use the next Pokemon. Don't be silly. And also, aside from lowering its health, special Pokeballs will increase the catch rate, as well as nailing it with a major status effect. Like, you know, Thunder has the possibility to give it a major status effect. Paralysis. Crap! Arrow Blast. Ah! Hopefully... Oh, okay, yeah. I completely forgot about flying and not being so super effective against electric. Very nice job, Lugia. I think it's just randomly picking moves at this point. So, you know, Lugia kind of made a mistake. He used Rain Dance, and that works very well for Citizen Zap, who has Thunder, making it 100% accurate. Very nice. 2 hits, and Lugia is almost finished, but we don't want to be finished. No, no, God, no. God, no. People start yelling at me, and I don't want that. Alright, so there's your major status ailment. Lugia is now paralyzed. And it's still using Arrow Blast. God, you know, I have not seen that move enough in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. No, of course not. It was in Melee, too, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it looked... No, it looked better in Brawl. Yeah, you know. Now I'm talking about Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I'm talking about Pokemon over here. Pokemon playthrough. Can't be talking about no Brawl. And, yeah, I decided to... Oh, yeah, that's right. I was sort of looking through everybody's moves, because I wanted Lugia's HP to go down as little as it possibly could without me fainting it. Unfortunately, I don't have False Swipe, so that being said, I decided to go with the next best thing, and that would be a move that's, well, that Lugia is resistant to, but also with a weak Pokemon, so that it wouldn't really do so much damage. So speaking of weak, I know I mentioned this earlier, Red Ranger, going on out. Red Ranger's real, like, I mean, I don't really want to, you know, say that Red Ranger is useless. I mean, he's, you know, he is a weak Pokemon, but he has other useless. Wow, that sounded like I just called him useless. I'm sorry, Red Ranger. I meant to say uses, such as having Reflect and Light Screen, right? Because, you know, I would say that Red Ranger is more of an assist type Pokemon, and then, you know, that really gives the diversity between my Pokemon. So, you know, I don't have to have all attackers or all defenders or all status inflictors, you know, just go for broke. Okay, that actually did more damage than I assumed that it was going to. You know, but even still, it was Silver, or what was it? Silver Wind, right? Pretty sure that's what it was. And, you know, he gets stab off of it, and also it's kind of a good attack, so. Anyway, speeding this whole bit up, because Lugia decided to be a big fat jerk about things, and, well, oh my god, I cannot believe Red Ranger didn't survive that. So speaking of surviving, I decided to go with our favorite electric tank, and that is Blah, using, just spamming balls at it, and there it goes, it's caught, just like that. Super surprise. Lugia has been caught. And I was so super happy because I honestly thought that I was going to run out of Pokeballs there. Ha. Alright. So that's our first legendary Pokemon captured. How many more will I catch? Well, who knows? I mean, that's the whole point of you tuning into the playthrough, so that you find these things out and, you know, see what happens next. What am I going to nickname this fancy Lugia? I don't even know what I was thinking. I just went with just a random name. I decided to nickname it Whoosh. So that thereby indirectly creates Team Whoosh, which I pray will be as popular as Team, was it Lol What? Happy Face. Yeah. No Lugia and no Togepi on my team. Sorry. So that's it for this part of the Pokemon SoulSilver playthrough. Join me in part 37, which will not include Lugia and or Togepi. Lugia and or Togepi lovers, deal with it. Alright? God, I don't know how else to put that. See you all next time.